It's a great day here at KEKFILA's YouTube channel. This is round 8 of a beautiful March 26th regional tournament. Again, my name is Sage. This is a re-recording. Apparently, I didn't mute the audio of the ×2 speed, so we're back to this. He ends up winning a dice roll and decides to go first. Again, I'm playing Doflamingo. He's playing Zoro. And my opponent's his name was Philip. I believe he was, I don't remember exactly where he was from, but he was very formal. That's how I kind of saw him, but very nice guy, very technical. And this is one of my more, one of my better matchups, and I was able to really secure a win with this. So he opens with the Nami and sees a jet pistol, and then I open with a Doflamingo on turn 2. Usually I'd actually wait until turn 3 so I can dig another card deeper. But because that Nami's out there, I actually want to reason to swing at them. So it's I just over-explain the card exactly how it works. And he just says, okay, sounds good. And I can notice this a lot in these tournaments as well, that people ask what your card does. And it's just a nice thing, right? So I took the damage there. He ends up just playing at the Dan. And so he's able to do that and then pull up, I believe it's a Machino. He grabs a Machino, the rest go to the bottom of the deck, and we go from there. So I go to my turn 2, which I believe I just throw 2 on here, swing 7 as leader. I need to start doing some damage, playing the Kuma, and the great thing about this Kuma is I had no Pacifista for a very long time. I'll tell you when I get one. It's pretty late. So I'm bluffing with this Kuma literally all game, and there's a couple good ways to do that, I found. But if you ever find yourself in a situation they have Kuma, you're just put in a tough spot, right? Like you kill the Kuma, and then you get the jet pistol, the Pacifist. It takes a lot of effort to deal with this card, essentially, right? Or you just kind of let it go. So yeah, and then we have like a little chat from as well. Someone asked, why does he has dice under the cards chat? And to answer that question, I have dice under my cards because of glare. So so he ends up taking his third turn here. He's at 5 down. He throws 1 under his leader, and I believe he's just trying to create some sort of pressure by swinging at my leader here. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a lot of tempo going forward. So I swing, he swings that into my leader. I just give him a 1k counter. I want to give him a reason to attack my leader. So if I counter out, he's more likely to attack my leader too. So yeah, he swings 7. I just take that 7 or the 6, right? So he plays the Machino, pays 1 for that, gives that 3. The Nami's gonna swing in for 6k, so I have to deal with that. And I give him a 2k with an Alvita. And then he just pays 2 for another Dadan. He's just going to Dan. I believe he searches top 5 and he finds an Atama. Gets a little bit of counter value here. This is where I feel like, this is why I kind of like going second sometimes against Zoro, because their hand advantage goes away real fast. So when they go second, their hand advantage is insane, just because the nature of taking the first damage and drawing an extra card. So they're able to guard their character cards a lot better. But I'm set up here. He has 4 life, and I have a whole board I'm gonna swing with. So I put 3 on this Doflamingo, swinging 5 into Curly Dadan, and I use a skill pitching a Boa to bottom deck the Nami. So I bottom deck that Nami, then I swing 2k at the Machino, so I'm able to clear the field in just a few swings, and I still have Dawn left over to use the skill to call a Jinbei, and I have to explain to the opponent what that Jinbei does, right? A few times. It's pretty good. And then I'm thinking to myself, do I swing with this Kuma? I don't have a Pacifista in hand. I think the best way to bait it is just swing 5 and he has to, one, put pressure on his hand, and two, he thinks I probably have a Kuma or a Pacifista behind that. So yeah, I think that's a good thing, because if I end up blocking with it, if I ever have it standing and don't block with it, he's just gonna think I don't have it, and maybe he'll just actually deal with it then. So little mind game. He goes up to 7 Dawn here, draws his return finally. He likes to ask a lot of questions, so he's asking exactly how my cards work, especially that Jinbei. And I got a little confused because of how long this is taking. That I thought he was supposed to be at 9 Dawn, but that was only a 6 Dawn turn I just had. So he's throwing 1 Dawn on his leader here. And then he swings 4K at the Doflamingo. So that ends up just dying. And he ends up thinking for a very, very, very long time here. And you could say this is odd. I think this was a little odd. He could have dealt with it a number of different ways, but he ends up using a jet pistol. But the problem was, if he kills my Jinbei, I bottom deck his Curly Dan. So I'm re-explaining how that works. And then the Kuma, if that's dead, I call Pacifista from hand, which I don't have at the time. Really unfortunate, right? So I'm kind of like running blind off the top of my deck right now too, I believe. So he ends up thinking for a long time. He did what I never thought someone would do. He uses this on the on the Perota. So you can see my face there, like, oh, I think I've seen it all. I think I've seen it all. He ends up just swinging 7 at my leader as well. And so I ended up just taking that. I definitely, didn't want to deal with that. He places the Gordon, and now we just kind of hit a skew of turns that maybe take too long. I go up to 8 Dawn. And I think to myself, well, I definitely am clearing this to Dan, and I don't really have to worry about my cards being suspended here. And so I do that, and then I swing 7 at leader, and I find another Jinbei. So I guess I wasn't flying too blind just yet. So I'm going to pay 3 costs. Now that I know that Jinbei's out, I didn't want to call that anyway. I'm going to look at top 5 cards of the deck, and I'm going to organize them the way I want to. This is where I believe I saw a Pacifista on top of my deck. So I was able to find that, and I ended up passing turn to him, and I have 2 active Dawn. Just kind of signifies a Love Mellow, right? That Love Mellow is going to be pretty dang good going forward. So he ends up paying 9, playing, yep, there we go, playing the big boy. And he ends up just swinging 7 because he's at 9 Dawn. Playing that card. Really nothing else he can do. So I have the perfect amount here, but I ended up just blocking it to play a Pacifista. Oh, maybe I drew it before. Oh, maybe I did draw it before. Yeah, maybe it was a long time ago I drew that. Oh, well, that's fine. So, okay, well, I was bluffing it forever, and I bluffed you guys. So, he actually takes some time. I think something happened. I don't know. We probably had to go talk to somebody, tell him, hey, sorry, I'm in a very important game right now. And everything's being recorded, so we're all good. So what I decide to do is just think about my turn while he's gone and decide the best sequence, because I was just kind of looking at things a little strangely. So he pulls back up in his shorts. Jeez, those are short. Okay, dang. This is a children's card game, sir. So I don't even I'm gonna bring this up. It's so funny. I end up swinging, putting Dawn under characters just in case the jet pistol's out of life. I swing 7, and I swing 7 again at a 7. So he ends up countering those with the Sunny Coons. And then I swing another 7, playing another Kuma. And he takes that, and I think to myself, well, go ahead. It looks like I just have 2 Love Mellows in my hand, so. So he ends up thinking here just for a moment. There was 1 dot on his leader, and he swings 11 at my leader. He's trying to really pressure my life, and I don't want to deal with bull stuff later. I'll just block this. So I will definitely want to move bodies off this field when my field gets too cramped. I just need to start blocking at least. So, and he's thinking here for a while. He ends up just paying 9. Playing that out. And he swings. And I just love Mellow, and I get to draw. Oh, I don't get a draw card. I guess my hand was too big. And some of the chat is pretty good. Really, the thing is, the Kumas and Jinbeis are so oppressive. Someone just doesn't know what to do. Yeah, that could happen, right? Because I guess that was maybe a mistake. So maybe he felt like he didn't know what to do, so he just jet pistoled the Perona. Again, in my eyes, it's pretty funny. He could have just swung 6 at it and been the same. But, you know, sometimes these situations are hard. So, I don't know. I end up swinging 9 at his leader here. So, I don't want to swing too much at him. And I want to make sure I do have defensive Dawn, because the only way he wins this game is if he's able to kill me the next turn. I'm not able to kill him this turn. That's the unfortunate thing. That's how I see it. I don't need to guarantee. I can guarantee not losing by just keeping 4 Dawn active and having 2 blockers. So I don't need to I don't have to guarantee a win here. Well, I don't have to guarantee killing everything. So that's what I mean. So I just put the blocker down. The 4 active Dawn is a little oppressive. That just means that, you know, his medium attacks won't get through. Only his big attacks may go through. And he thinks here for a moment. He does stick 1 Dawn on Zoro. You don't always have to stick a Dawn on Zoro, by the way, but he does that. So, and he has 9 Dawn left over. That'd be pretty good for another Whitebeard. It might be a little too risque. I'd probably go for it. So he ends up bottom decking that. Minus 3k to my Kuma, okay? And I believe I have 5 cards in hand. This is actually a little bit relative. So he jet pistols the other blocker. And then he just attaches 2. Swinging big at my face. That KOs it. And then I'm just thinking if I want to resolve his skill for a moment. So I resolve that skill, and I take the hit. Of course, I'm taking a 13k hit. And then he's going to swing for 9k because he has nothing else to do. And I go, okay, 1 plus 4. I think equals 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. Good numbers, and I get to draw a card. Super, super duper good. And now he's thinking to himself, well, now I can't win the game just right now, so I'm going to have to swing 11 at his Pacifista. Because, you know, I might as well try to play defensive. So, swings 11 at my Pacifista. I'm able to add a 2k, so, and then a 4k, so 6 plus 6, that equals 12. 12 beats 11. Math, GG, and then... you know, my chat's like, it's game. We got there. Sorry, Zoro. So I pump everything up to 7k, right? And his hand is so limited. I'm able just to push for game, especially when he only has 4 cards in hand. He has to give me 2 cards just to deal with that. I go 7 again. He has to give me 2 cards, so he can't. I go 7 again. He gives me 2 cards, and then I go for 7, and then... that's GG. I show everything, and I believe the last card may have been a Pacifista. And I think I just talked about that 1 cost Doflamingo being super strong. But hey, thank you everyone so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Peace.